All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 15th of September 2020. We've got a grand fire trine going on, top of the morning, all right? Starting from 6 a.m., the moon over here in Leo. Let me show you. The moon over here in Leo, connecting, making that trine to Eris. Okay, how we're dealing with information that's coming our way. Very important right now, especially with Mars retrograde and sandwiching between Lilith, right? How are we dealing with information? Are we losing our cool? Are we losing our calm, collective nature? Are we staying consistent? That fire of the sun, right? Then, of course, this trine up here to the south node, release. So whatever's coming up, hopefully we can release some of the old emotions that come our way, or old ways of dealing with, old ways of dealing with problems or issues or things that arise, as things are always going to arise, right? There's always ebbs and always flows. And this is saying, can we stay consistent in our passion? Can we stay consistent in our fire? Can we stay consistent in the way that we express ourselves, without, being too high or too low, right? And then we've got, the moon's going to pick up and connect with Lilith, and then, of course, pick up and trine over there to Mars. And we're going to maintain that fire trine the entire time until the moon moves out into the sign of Virgo. And that's going to happen at right there, around 3 p.m. And there's still a little bit of that trine happening, which is some interesting flavors going on for a trine, although the moon is going to be entering the sign of Virgo, okay, which is about work and services. Okay, so maintaining this consistency, and the moon trine to Mars, from 6 in the morning until, about 8 in the morning until 3 p.m., this is that great boost that we need, the pride of the lion, okay, the courage and strength. And there's a posture to this, right? And it's leading with the heart, okay? And our bodies, no matter how we are, how is our posture? Are we leading with our heart first? Leading with that heart center, pushing the chest out in a healthy way, right? When we get into combat sometimes, conversational combat, if we're feeling depleted, we do one of these. We sink down, our heart sinks back, our heads come in front of the heart, okay? And then when we're feeling very prideful and we're feeling very powerful, sometimes we puff our chests up and we've got something to say, right? Taking our posture. And this is maintaining that posture, maintaining our posture, leading with our heart. Okay, so it's really important that we try to implement this, no matter, again, how old we are, whatever our age, whatever our body style, wherever we're at in our journey, leading with our hearts, making that connection. And this is something that just is like randomly popping up. Heart disease is is the leading cause of death in the United States. And I've got some very close chiropractor friends, and they say here in the cervical spine, okay, how we maintain our posture in the cervical spine is how we're getting the electrical impulses from our heart to our brain. Okay, from our brain to our heart. Okay, so our posture is extremely, extremely important. And this astrology that's going on right now is reminding us to stand tall, stand proud, not overly flexing and not being too down. Okay, no matter what's coming. And of course, there's always, oppressing forces going on. We have, this Mars square to Saturn. So there is always going to be a domineering, authoritative figure or governmental, some sort of power that's over us. Everybody has a boss, you know what I mean? And how well we're dealing with these things, and can we maintain our strength, being strong like the tree and standing proud like the lion. All right. Then the moon moves into Virgo. Okay, excited. We're getting ready for this Virgo new moon. This is the end. This is, before the sun takes its fall, its descent into the southern part of the hemisphere, right? It's autumn, but, we call it fall. Many of us call it fall, and that's because this is when the sun falls. This has nothing to do with the leaves falling off the trees. This is when the sun falls to the lower lower southern hemisphere in the zodiac. Okay, so we're getting focused. The moon entering the sign of Virgo. Okay, it's about doing the work, putting the work in. Us making sure that we're emotionally present, or emotionally available to be of service, and what that service is. We still have the sun making its opposition to Neptune, saying the work that we put in right now, and especially when the moon comes up here, we'll talk about this a little bit more with the new moon video, that we're staying focused. That, there's like, do we have our whiteboard, our vision boards, right? Do we have our vision boards going? Do we have, this is preparing us. Okay, this day is preparing us for what's coming, and making sure that we are focused on ourselves, focused on our services, that we're standing tall, standing proud, and focused on our dreams, focused on our creativity, and what wonderful things can come our way, right? And we still have Mercury here, balance in Libra, okay, still creating that septile over there in Neptune. Very powerful connection, okay? Mentally, we have to have our eyes on the prize. Mentally, we have to be willing to break through and break free of whatever, Taurus is this energy of, that tradition, okay? This is how things have been done for 1,000 years, 2,000 years, we'll say 2,000 years, right? Each age is 2,000 years. Uranus is helping break way of the old age of Pisces, okay? And all of these, these ones up here are wrapping up the legal, the laws, and getting us prepared for this Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that's going to be happening right here in the sign of Aquarius, which is going to be furthering us into the age of Aquarius, okay? So we're going to see a lot more technology coming up. We're going to see a lot more, virtual classes. Virtual classes, speaking of that, I'm working out a way right now to do some, through Zoom meetings, some virtual classes, teaching astrology and doing chart interpretation classes. So I'm working those details out and how that's going to come over the next few months. So if that's something that's interested to you, I know there's a few people that have reached out, and I'm very excited and happy to bring that up. So that's part of my service that I need to focus on and doing, right? So what is yours? What is your, and drop me a line. I'm kind of curious, my friends, what are you working on right now? We're going through so much change. We're going through so much change, and what's coming your way? What are the things that you're focused on? What are the dreams that you're trying to obtain that you're bringing into manifestation? And this is a powerful time to bring these things into manifestation. Saturn's going to go, Saturn will station direct here and move direct by the end of the month. And it's going to start to pick up that septile once again to Neptune. Okay, although it's not here right now, this Virgo energy is saying, let's be prepared. And we've got the sun here in between Pluto and Saturn, okay, reminding us to say, to do the work and to be our own bosses, to be, this great authority for ourselves, being disciplined and structured. Because this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction here that's going to happen in December, this is about a whole new way of living, a whole new life, okay? So the Saturn septile to Neptune that's coming up, again, this is like the universe, fate, and destiny coming our way to make sure that we're aligning ourselves with our dreams. All right, so it's a very, very powerful energy coming up, and it's starting now as the moon leaves the sign of Leo, remembering us to stand tall and stand strong, be firm, express ourselves freely, without making others small and not being squished and being small like we talked about yesterday. And then getting ready, us preparation for the work that needs to be done to carry us through the rest of this year and into the future. To the future! Okay? And we'll talk about it more with the new moon video coming up very soon. All right, my friends, have a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.